So I have a confession to make. I've been using the Canon EOS R for the last week and a half on all these vlogs. I cannot believe nobody knew. Nobody realized. One thing I've always been so impressed with about people that watch my channel and people that just watch YouTube in general is just how they catch so many little things, like little tiny details of, hey, I noticed this, which means you probably were using this, or just different things. You guys catch a lot on YouTube. But none of you caught the fact that so many times when I would roll into a shot with a chair, or I would point to something or whatever it was, just how good the autofocus was. Like, no one caught the fact that the GH5 doesn't do good autofocus, so there was no way I was using the GH5 for all those shots. But no one said anything. I can't believe it. Like, I thought for sure there were so many things I did that would like give it away. Apparently not. But yeah, I've been using the EOS R and the 16-35 lens. I've been using that for about the last this video, this video, this video, this video, this video, this video. I got it just for this YouTube channel. And so far, I've really been impressed with it. And I know so many people gave this camera a really, really bad review. They said they didn't like things about it. They complained about all these different pieces of it. And I will say there are certain things I'm not crazy about with this camera. But there are a lot of things that I think are really just great. And I think especially for YouTube content, this camera is awesome. And that's literally why I bought it. So I didn't change anything on the commercial side of what I do. I still have all 4 of my GH5s. I didn't get rid of any lenses. I still use those for everything I do. But I realized as I was creating more and more YouTube content that there are so many times that I just don't want to worry about certain things with vlogging. Like, I don't really want to worry about autofocus. I don't want to worry about having to manually focus everything, and so many of these videos that I shoot myself where I'm doing a review on something or I'm talking to the camera, a lot of my content is this kind of stuff, talking to the camera. And the problem is it gets a little bit difficult when I have to worry about not being able to keep things in focus, because when I move closer to the camera or when I show you things or when I do something, there were times that focus would miss, and that's hard because when you film yourself, it's already hard as it is, and it's even harder if you have to worry about all these little things, autofocus being one of them. Is it a perfect camera? Absolutely not. Lots of things I don't like about it. Is it a really good camera? Yes, I think it's a very, very good camera. I think it's extremely capable. I think the image quality is very good from it. I do think it's a little overpriced, especially when you add a good lens on it. I think it's a little bit overpriced for what it actually gives you in terms of specs, but at the end of the day, I didn't make my decision entirely based around how much it was going to cost, because I realized that I just needed a camera that did certain things for me for YouTube, and that was going to come with an expense. So do I think that the EOS R with a 16-35 lens and then needing to have an adapter for it and essentially costing $3,500 or $3,600 something, do I think that's a lot? Yeah, I think that's a lot of money. I don't think the camera should be that expensive, but if you don't count that budget as being the only important thing, I think the camera is very, very good. But people don't always want to give it a chance. So I decided to try it myself and stop just looking at reviews and decide if it was for me. So I've got to say, I've only been in Boise for about 24 hours, but this is such a cool, nice, laid-back city. I really like it. I want to see it better. I've been fortunate enough to travel a lot of places all over the country, and I gotta say, I really like this town. It just has a really nice vibe to me. You get like nice city, downtown-ish, nice vibes, but then there's also beautiful like snow-capped mountains in the back, which you can't see because of exposure, but it's just a really nice place. I like it. People are just friendly. Everyone always seems friendly compared to the Northeast, but these people are super friendly. Also, I assume this is all rush hour, but I'm from the Northeast where there's a lot of traffic all the time. So this being rush hour is like just an an everyday occurrence where I'm from, so it's nice. I would like to live in a small town like this. I feel like it would be just this, I don't know, I just feel like it'd be so different. But yeah, there are two parts to my world. One of them is behind the camera for everything I do with my company, and specifically like other work that's not for me. But a huge side of what I do is obviously personal brand, is this YouTube channel, and it's following around some other people for content as well. And so the autofocus thing has been a real problem I've been trying to solve. See, I've said this before, and I truly mean it. Autofocus for me is not important whatsoever when I'm actually filming. So when I'm using the GH5s for a commercial project or something where I'm behind the camera, I like manual focus because I don't have to worry about it missing, and I'm used to it. It's something I've done for a long time. I'm used to manual focus, and I mean it. It's not something that I'm trying to say just to make it sound like the GH5s are you know, just the perfect camera and I don't need autofocus, so it's not important to me. But I'm just used to manual focus and I'm completely okay with that. So that's just become the norm for me. But my YouTube channel is an entirely different story. That's something that it's obviously very important for me to have things in focus. But because I'm not always behind the camera, when I point the camera somewhere, I need it to grab focus. It's just a given. I need to make sure that when I point it at my face or when I'm talking to the camera like this, it's in focus, because I don't want to have to worry about that. And for a while, as some of you know, I went to the Canon M50 for a little bit because I figured it was something small, super portable. It had a flip screen and it had good autofocus because it had the dual pixel, and tried that, but the 4K just wasn't usable because of the crazy crop on it. The camera just wasn't a good enough quality for what I wanted, and it just wasn't exactly what I was looking for. But the problem is I still needed a camera that had really good autofocus, a flip screen, and 4K. I needed all those things. The GH5 had everything I wanted except for autofocus. The M50 had everything except the quality. It's just, I couldn't find the perfect camera. And then I quickly realized after going through so many different cameras that obviously there is no perfect camera. But I think the problem was I was trying to find the perfect camera for like all solutions rather than deciding, you know what? I need a perfect camera for what I do on YouTube. What is the kind of stuff that I produce on YouTube, and what is the best camera for that? Not what's the best camera to replace the GH5, or what's the best camera to use instead of this camera, instead of this, and can I find something that does good at this and not good at that? I wanted just a good camera for YouTube, and that's where I feel like this camera really is, so far from my initial testing of it, it's perfect for what I'm looking for. Like it has worked really well. But here's the other place that I really needed to have good autofocus, and that was for some of the stuff that I'm doing, like this type of traveling trip with Tom Murray or for different people. When I travel with some of these guys, I create a lot of different content for them. I obviously create some standalone videos for them where I'm just behind the camera and all that, but other times I'm producing things that are more vlog-like, more conversations where we're walking through an area while we're doing something, or we're, you know, whatever it is, where I'm constantly capturing stuff where I'm sometimes just walking alongside of them and I point the camera at them while we're walking and I capture some content. Problem is with the GH5s, the autofocus is still an issue because I have to be able to just point it to them, let them say what they want to say, let them capture the content they want to capture, and not worry about little things like, is it in focus? I want to make sure that exposure is correct. I want to make sure that all those things are correct, but I want to just be able to point the camera and get the result that I'm looking for. So I've been on this nonstop search of trying to find the great camera that does those two things, and so far this is the best camera that I found for it. Tommy's going to check out his room here.
Tommy is not checking out his room.
I guess you're not speaking tomorrow?
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Ready to roll.
Probably one of my favorite parts about traveling and my favorite parts of YouTube are meeting some of you subscribers that I've met so many times in random places around the country. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, is go chat with someone who reached out to me. Best way to reach out to me, Instagram or Twitter. If you see me in your area, I love meeting you.
Derek
Scott,
nice to meet
good
you,
to meet
man.
you. How are you doing?
I'm on the vlog, huh?
Dude, you're on the vlog.
This is surreal.
That's right. Are you, this is your hometown, huh?
This is the hometown.
I like
Not as
it.
small as it once was, but
I like it.
blowing up.
It's a cool vibe. Good to meet you, man.
Thanks for hanging out. It was
Thanks.
awesome.
Good to meet you. Thanks for showing us around
boys are here.
Yeah, man, enjoy the weather before I get back to the polar vortex, if that's still going on.
Yeah.
So it was awesome meeting you, Derek. Appreciate it. Derek said he's been following my channel for a couple of years, and that always means a lot. I appreciate when people have followed my channel that long. So, and thanks for reaching out. I always tell everybody, and what I told Derek as well, I love interacting with you guys and meeting you. The best place to follow me is Instagram or Twitter, because that's kind of like the most real-time, up-to-date, kind of like where I'm at. I like to post where I'm at certain places, and I'm in a lot of these cities for a very short amount of time. I love meeting up with you if I can, so feel free to get in touch with me there. If you ever see me in your city, try my best to make it happen.